are you? My name is Tammy Harden, and I am the unemotional eater. And actually, I'm a stress expert and emotional eating specialist. And I really wanted to talk about cravings. I feel like I say things to my clients all the time, and I just wanted to say them out loud. So often we feel really, we just beat the fire out of ourselves when we have cravings. Like we feel like we're doing it wrong, or whatever we've been doing is not working, or whatever. And so I've kind of come to a couple of conclusions that I just thought I would share with you. Please realize this is my own struggle. I didn't read about this in a book or think it was a really good idea. This is my life. This is me trying to find a way to work on my own cravings, and I've never been able to solve them. If you know anything about my story, I've given up drugs, I've given up alcohol, I've given up cigarettes. But food was like my arch nemesis, and I kept being so mad at myself because I would have these cravings and I would fail, and and then once you fail, then it's like, oh, what the heck, I might as well just eat more, and so the dog begins to chase its tail. And so what I've come to understand today is the cravings are actually messengers. Just hang with me here. They're actually letting me know that I'm out of alignment. They're letting me know they're a stress response. And so if I'm having cravings, there's something internally going on with me that I'm out of alignment. I've come to see this as like being in emotional alignment, just like you go to a chiropractor to adjust your spine. It's about being in emotional alignment. And anything can sway us off emotional alignment. It can be our past, it can be somebody else's, what somebody else does, our circumstances. There's things coming at our emotional alignment 24/7, it feels like. But my responsibility to take care of myself is about keeping my own house in order, keeping my own energy clean, keeping in right alignment. For me, it's about being in right alignment with God. And I don't mean that in some mean, I don't know. And so please know that I'm a Christian, but yet I've been beat up by many of them, and I've been told I need more Jesus, or I've had the Bible or Scripture thrown at me. None of those things worked. Not in the context in which they were given to me. Today I'll tell you that they work, but they had to work in a different context than what they were trying to be shoved down my throat, because that didn't work for me. But today, when I see a craving coming, I'm this is what I do every day, right? I help people with cravings, and the other day I'm driving down the road, and all of a sudden this craving for Krispy Kreme donuts shows up, and I'm like, I don't even eat Krispy Kreme donuts anymore because they make me feel really bad. It's not, my agreement with my body is I don't want to put something in you that's going to make you feel bad, that makes you want to go to sleep, or makes you grumpy because it takes all the energy out of you. I like to give my body things that nourish it, that quench its hunger, that makes it feel alive, that makes it feel light. Those are the things that I like to put in my body because I want to feel alive as much as I can. And Krispy Kreme donuts don't make me feel that way. They make me really grumpy. They crash my sugar. I get really irritable when my sugar's crashed. So that I just want to go to sleep. And so those aren't things that I normally am looking for. But my emotions crave Krispy Kreme donuts or ice cream or chocolate or whatever. And so if I'm out of emotional alignment, then that comes up. And so I tap on that right there in that moment. I tap on that to release my own energy, my own attachment, and I'm looking for it to bubble up to the surface. What is it that is really going on? What is it that I'm stressed about? And typically stress is a fear. So what is it that I'm afraid of, that I'm afraid is going to happen, or I'm afraid of what people's going to think, or whatever my fear is at the moment? What is that that's within me? And a lot of times when I do that, then all the air will just come out of it, and so then the craving just dissipates. Sometimes I have to go eat the Krispy Kreme donut, but what happens if I'll tap on the way, then it'll alleviate it, and it won't show up again for 3 months or 6 months or whatever. But really the point of this video is to start to understand that you're not doing something wrong if you have a craving. It's a messenger. It's like somebody's gone over and pressed the alarm button and said, "Warning, Will Robinson, warning, warning, there's something wrong. Please pay attention to me." It is a cry for help. It's like your baby crying, saying, "Please help me. I need attention. I need to be held. I need food. I need a clean diaper, whatever." It's your baby internally crying, saying, "Please help me. Please pay attention to me." And so there's this thing inside of me, in the past where I would just beat myself to a pulp for having a craving. I would shame myself, feel like I was doing it wrong, feel like the things that I was doing wasn't working. And so I would sabotage, I would go eat whatever it was, and then I'd beat the fire out of myself for eating it. And I'm telling you, when I stopped operating in that position, my food started changing. I just don't have cravings. And when I do have cravings, I deal with them, and they're real quick little snippets. They're not these, go on a binge for the next 365 days. Yes, I've done that. But there is power in starting to look at cravings as messengers rather than that there's something wrong with you. So how can you love yourself today? How can you be loving and kind and supportive? So there's going to be more about this because it's not the end of it. Because what I came to understand is walking through this food situation has really become my great love story. It's really the place where I became to understand how much God loved me and how he was really after my heart. And he's after yours too. That's why we're having this conversation. So I'll talk to you soon. Blessings.